Bantamweight banger in Las Vegas. Dan Tom here with MMA Junkie to help you break down the main event for UFC Vegas 72 between Ricky Simon and Song Yadong. Song, of course, is coming off of a disappointing defeat in the main event to the ever-talented Corey Sandhagen, who was able to slice Song up in that second round and force an eventual cut stoppage in the fourth going into the fifth. Of course, Song is going to try to regain that momentum this Saturday when he meets Simon, who, since dropping a fight to another talented fighter in Rob Font back in 2019, has since put together 5 straight wins, with a majority of those coming by way of finish, whether we're talking about an arm triangle submission or a knockout on the feet. Simon is a multi-dimensional threat who is really coming into his own. At the time of this video, the odds makers are ever so slightly siding with Simon as your slight favorite in the neighborhood of -115, with your underdog, if you can really call it that, Song at -105. So pretty much a pick'em fight here, and I don't mind the line moving tighter. I think that's where it should be. Both fighters are competitive, talented, and they got the dog in them, right? They're very tough. Song especially tough to finish. However, Simon, perhaps he is better built for 5 rounds, often hailed with this style. He's kind of got that never-ending gas tank, so it seems. Both men have been scheduled for 5 outside of the UFC. Of course, inside it's a bit different. Song didn't look too bad in his last fight, despite being a bloody mess on the wrong end of some slices and strikes, but prior to that has shown to flag a bit in third rounds, where Ricky Simon, he has been caught early from round 1 to even round 2. You go back to his Anderson Dos Santos fight back in Titan FC outside the UFC. He can be caught with those counter shots. You pressure, you put volume out there. It's a two-way street in this game. So that's a very real possibility that Simon could get his jabs in particular countered. He's pretty good about feinting, but whether he's feinting, prodding, or really trying to punctuate, he will be opening himself to the hard triggers and counters of Song, which will be live, especially in rounds 1 and 2. That being said, this is in the smaller octagon in the UFC Apex, and I tend to favor the more proven and superior grapplers, superior wrestlers, superior submission fighters. In this case, that is Simon. We will have to see, of course. Song trains with great fighters there in Team Alpha Male. He should be ready for this. A good scrambler, but down the stretch, round 3, 4, and 5, if it gets there, I think that's where Simon's live. Give me Simon for a round 3 submission, but to see pass for Song, as well as more details on both fighters and their games, check out my breakdown at MMAJunkie.com, where you can find results this weekend.